Today, we're going to dive into this amazing parable from the 13th century poet Rumi. It's one of those stories that really makes you stop and think about what kind of knowledge actually matters. It all starts with a simple boat trip that, well, turns into a life or death situation.
So let's just get right into it. What do you think is more important? All that knowledge you get from books, book smarts, or the real world skills that can actually save your skin, street smarts? Rumi's story throws this question right in our faces. All right, so our story kicks off on the open sea. We're on a ship, and on that ship is a scholar whose massive pride is about to get a serious reality check from Mother Nature herself. So the main character here, he's a grammarian. A guy who's basically a master of language, knows all the rules of syntax inside and out. And his expertise? It's huge. But you know what's even bigger? His ego. We're talking pure arrogance here. And this is really the whole conflict in a nutshell. On one side, you've got the grammarian, who's all about theoretical knowledge, kind of disconnected from how things really work. And on the other, you have the captain, who represents practical wisdom, the kind you only get from experience. So Rumi's setting up a clash, not just between two people, but between two completely different ways of looking at life. So you can just feel the tension starting to build on this ship. And our scholar, well, his pride gets the best of him. He decides he's going to challenge the captain, not because he wants to learn anything, but because he wants to prove he's the smartest guy on board. So, totally full of himself, the scholar goes up to the captain with this super loaded question. Have you studied Nahu? And Nahu is the classical term for the science of syntax, of grammar. This isn't a real question, It's a trap. It's designed to make the captain feel small, to show off his own specialized knowledge. The captain just, simply says no. And that's when the scholar drops this absolutely crushing line, just dripping with contempt. Since you know nothing of syntax, half of your life has been wasted. He's not just making fun of the captain's intelligence. He's basically saying his entire life has been worthless. But here's the thing, and this is so important. The captain's reaction. You can tell he's offended, right? But he just stays silent. That quiet dignity, that choice not to get into a petty argument, man, it says so much, and it totally sets up what's about to happen. And boom, just like that, the conversation's over. The scholar thinks he's won. But now, a much, much greater power is about to weigh in. Suddenly, that storm the captain probably saw coming a mile away just hits with everything it's got. The ship is getting tossed around by these insane waves, and it gets caught in this deadly whirlpool. In a single moment, the scholar's entire world is just flipped upside down. All those fancy rules of grammar, they mean absolutely nothing against the raw power of the ocean. And right in the middle of all this chaos, the captain, cool as a cucumber, turns to the terrified scholar. And his question isn't some abstract theoretical thing. It's about pure survival. He asks, "My dear friend, do you know how to swim?" And the scholar can't swim. Of course he can't. And now the captain delivers the final punch, twisting the scholar's own arrogant words right back at him. See, the stakes aren't about who's smarter anymore. It's about life and death. And without that one skill that matters right now, well, the scholar's entire life really is wasted. Okay, so you might be thinking this is just a great story about someone getting what they deserve, right? But with Rumi, there's always something deeper going on. He's using this whole drama to teach a much bigger lesson about what knowledge and truth really are. See, the story is really a metaphor. That sea isn't just water. Rumi calls it the ocean of truth. The ship? That's our journey through life. And the storm? Well, that's the crisis that hits all of us eventually. The moment that really tests if what we know is real or just an illusion. So if the sea is truth, what does it mean to swim in it? Well, for Rumi, it's something he calls the annihilation of ego. It's about letting go of all that pride, that self-importance the scholar had, so you can connect with a reality that's way, way bigger than your own mind. What that really means is you have to leave all the stuff your ego loves on the shore. Your job title, your degrees, how smart you think you are. And this ocean of truth, all that stuff is just dead weight that will pull you down. Rumi's lesson is simple. Surrender. Let go of the fear, let go of the need to control everything, and the truth itself will hold you up. But if you cling to your ego, you're going to sink. And Rumi leaves us with one last really beautiful analogy to hammer this point home, to show us the difference between the knowledge we collect and the sheer vastness of truth. So, think about it like this. All the knowledge you've ever collected, everything you think you know, it's like a small clay pitcher. Yeah, it can hold some water, but it's fragile, right? It can break. Now imagine the ultimate truth is the endless Tigris River, just massive, powerful, the source of all the water. So most of us spend our lives carefully filling up our little pitcher, our mind, with facts and ideas. But here's the secret. The goal isn't just to carry that pitcher around forever. The real journey is to find the river. Because once you actually see and experience the source, you realize your little pitcher is, well, it's kind of pathetic in comparison. The final step, you shatter it. You let go of all your limited ideas and just become one with that endless flow of truth. So this whole story really leaves us with a challenge, doesn't it? It's asking us to look at our own lives and figure out what pictures we're carrying around. Those rigid beliefs, that pride, those things we think we know for sure. So I'll leave you with this question. What picture of knowledge are you ready to shatter to actually experience the river?